This is Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, and this is the platform where you board the plane train to go to other concourses within the airport. If you are transferring in Atlanta, then you might arrive at one concourse and have to go to another concourse. The plane train is the quickest way to go from one concourse to another. Hartsfield-Jackson is a large and busy airport. There are 7 concourses: T, A, B, C, D, E, and F. Domestic flights are usually serviced by concourses T, A, B, C, and D. Concourses E and F generally service international flights. However, there are exceptions. Suppose you arrive at a gate in Concourse T or A, and you have to catch a flight leaving from a gate in Concourse F. How long will it take you to get there? That's what we're going to find out. What wasn't shown in this video is how long it takes to get from the gate in Concourse F to this point, and that is about 5 minutes.
Welcome aboard the plane train. Please hold on. This train is departing.
In this video, I'm going from Concourse F to Concourse
The
A,
next stop is for E gates. E as in echo.
but the length of time going the other direction should be about the same. My departure gate in Concourse A is all the way at the end. So this is close to being the longest trip that you could take within the airport. If I was going to the T concourse, then you can add a few extra minutes, maybe 3, maybe 4. If you do this trip during peak hours, then the trip might take you a little bit longer because of the crowd. The plane train is an underground automated people mover. It began running in 1980, but it didn't get its name plane train until August 2010.
Please hold on. This train is stopping. Please collect your belongings and watch your step as you exit.
The plane train runs 24 hours a day. The peak period runs from 0500 to 0100 the next day. And during that time, there are 44 cars on the rail system, which totals 11 trains. The wait time between trains is 108 seconds. After the west extension is completed after a few years, the wait time will drop to 90 seconds.
Please hold on. This train is departing. The next stop is for D gates. D as in David.
The plane train moves 250,000 people a day. It's pretty efficient. The plane train used to shut down at 0100 and restart at 0500. But customer feedback changed that.
Please hold on. This train is stopping. Please collect your belongings and watch your step as you exit.
During those hours, the plane train operates in a 2-train shuttle mode, which began in January 2018.
The next stop is for C gates. C as in Charlie.
The plane train shuts down Wednesday mornings at 0100 for track maintenance. So keep that in mind if you happen to arrive at that time.
Welcome aboard the plane train. Please hold on. This train is departing.
It takes 123 employees working 3 shifts
Stop is for C gates. C as in Charlie.
to keep the system running nonstop. There's nobody in the train piloting it. Instead, there are at least 2 control operators in the control room at all times. From the control room, they can send commands to the train, such as opening and closing the doors and changing the speed.
Please hold on. This train is stopping. Please collect your belongings and watch your step as you exit.
When things are not right, alarms go off in the control room, and they contact one of 3 recovery techs who are on site at all times. The concourses are referred to using the NATO phonetic alphabet: Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, and Tango. The exception is Concourse D, which they refer to as David instead of Delta to avoid confusion with Delta Airlines.
Please hold on. This train is departing.
Trains run in the tunnels in a pinched
The
loop
next stop
configuration.
is for B gates. B as in Bravo.
The east end of the line is Concourse F, Foxtrot, International Terminal. During peak hours, the trains will stop at the eastbound side of the platform, unload, and then proceed further to a crossover track to return to the westbound side of the platform. At the west end, trains use a crossover track between Domestic Terminal and Concourse T stations to switch tunnels.
Please collect your belongings and watch your step as you exit.
There are two maintenance workshops, one at Concourse E and another at Concourse F. And speaking of maintenance, the trains are maintained by Bombardier. The system was built by Westinghouse
The
Electric
next stop
Corporation,
is for A gates.
who
A
supplied the
as in
system's
Alpha.
initial fleet of C-100 vehicles. To prepare for the Summer Olympics in 1996 in Atlanta, in 1994 the system was extended with a new station at Concourse E, which was constructed for
Welcome
international
aboard the plane
flights.
train. Please hold on. This train is departing. The next stop is for A gates. A as in Alpha.
In 2001, Bombardier Transportation acquired the remains of Westinghouse Transportation Division. Bombardier replaced some of the original C-100 vehicles with new CX-100 vehicles. In 2012, Jackson International Terminal and Concourse F opened,
Please hold on.
along with
This
another
train is
extension of
stopping.
the plane train.
Please collect your belongings and watch your step as you exit.
And here is where I get off, Concourse A.
The next stop is for T gates. T as in Tango.
It will take approximately 5.5 minutes for me to reach the end of Concourse A, where my departure gate is located. A final bit of trivia regarding the plane train is that during its history, the audio announcements have been provided by 6 different voices. The first voice on the trains was that of a local USB FM radio personality named Kelly McCoy. However, shortly after opening, McCoy's voice was replaced by a synthesized voice that airport officials nicknamed Hal because it sounded similar to the computer in the film 2001: A Space Odyssey. In 2006, that voice was replaced by that of local voice talent Bill Murray, not the same actor and comedian Bill Murray from Groundhog Day. After the vehicles were replaced in 2001, they got a different male voice in 2002. In 2006, they got another voice, that of Susan Bennett, who is the voice of Apple's Siri. And since 2012, the voice has been provided by voice actress Sharon Feingold. Now, I personally like the idea of having Samuel L. Jackson do the voice. Get off the train, motherfucker! And instead of using the chimes, they could use a recording of Sam Kinison yelling. Atlanta is not the only place where this train system is used. This is also used in Madrid, Beijing, Singapore, Denver, Frankfurt, Houston, Kuala Lumpur, Rome, London Gatwick, London Stansted, Las Vegas, Miami, Orlando, Sacramento, San Francisco, Seattle, and Tampa. And they are now called Innovia APM 100. The APM 100, offered by Bombardier, will remain in service for many years to come. However, there is an updated version called the Innovia APM 200, which made its debut at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport Skylink. Its design allows for higher speeds and tighter turns. In addition to Dallas, the Innovia 200 is used at Heathrow and Phoenix. The successor of the Innovia 200 is the Innovia 300, and it's being used at Dubai, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, Munich, LAX, Chengdu, Beijing, Shenzhen, and Hong Kong. Hartsfield-Jackson has 195 gates, the most of any airport. Here in Concourse A, there are 33 gates, although the last gate is 34. That's because there is no gate 13. Well, approximately a minute and a half to go. You should be able to go from any one place in the airport to any other place in the airport in less than 15 minutes on average. Of course, it might take a little longer in some cases. It depends on how fast you walk. You might walk faster than I, or you might walk slower normally. And it also depends on the number of people. If you have to wait to board the next train that comes because the first one got filled up with people, then that's going to delay you by approximately 2 minutes. You should also be aware that you need to be at the gate at least 10 or 15 minutes prior to the departure time of your airplane, because that's when they close the door. And once they close the door, they're not letting you on, no matter how much you beg, cry, or threaten them with legal action. Of course, you could try bribing them. As they say, everybody's got their price. I'm finally seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. Gate A34. That is my destination. The very last gate at the end of Concourse A.